So, we've got this article someone sent in, and it's called How to Harm Your Joint, a guide to breaking yourself down one step at a time.
Uh-huh.
It's from iwantfinch.com.
Okay.
And it's kind of a funny take because it's like the opposite of what you usually see, right? How to actually damage your joints.
Interesting.
And sometimes it's like, understanding what not to do that can really help you figure out what you should be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes seeing it spelled out like that really makes you think.
Totally. And it's like this whole guide on how to wreck your joints, but I think we can actually pull some really practical tips from it.
I think so, too.
So for this deep dive, we're going to go through this article and see if we can extract the wisdom, to do the exact opposite and actually keep our joints healthy for the long run.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so first up, this article talks about this weird balance between being totally inactive and then going super hard and ignoring any pain.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. It's a bit like a car engine. You can't just leave it sitting there doing nothing, but you also can't constantly redline it.
Right. It needs that sweet spot.
Exactly. And when it comes to our joints being sedentary, is basically like letting that engine seize up.
Oh, wow.
The muscles around the joint, they get weak, and then all that stress goes straight to the joint itself.
Ouch.
Yeah, and the article makes a good point about those muscles. They're there to support the joint like shock absorbers and stabilizers,
Makes sense.
But when they're weak, it's like a bridge, losing its support cables. The whole structure is vulnerable.
So you're saying it's not just about the joint itself, but the whole system around it?
Precisely. And then on the flip side, you have people who push themselves too hard. They're always working out, even when they're in pain.
Yeah, I know a few people like that.
And that's like revving the engine without ever changing the oil. You might think you're making progress, but you're actually just wearing things down faster.
And what happens then?
Well, that constant strain, it leads to cartilage breakdown. That's the smooth cushion inside the joint that lets everything move smoothly.
Right.
And when that starts to wear away, you get all sorts of problems like tendinitis and bursitis.
So it's like you're sanding down the parts that need to glide past each other.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And that's a recipe for pain and long-term damage.
Okay, so I guess the takeaway here is that we need to find that middle ground.
Right.
Not too little movement, but not too much either.
Yeah, that Goldilocks zone, the article calls it the better choice.
I like that.
And it suggests things like walking, swimming, even resistance training, as long as it's done with good form.
So things that strengthen the muscles without putting too much stress on the joints themselves.
Exactly. Movement that nourishes rather than punishes.
All right, so we're moving but not overdoing it. Got it. Now, the second thing this article mentions is our diet.
Ah, yes. The fuel we put in our bodies.
And it specifically talks about eating in a way that promotes inflammation.
Right, because inflammation is like rust for your joints. It just eats away at them over time.
And they list a bunch of foods that contribute to inflammation.
Like what?
Refined sugars, processed grains, those cheap seed oils like soybean and corn and canola oil,
Ah, I see.
and then fried foods and all those packaged snacks that are so tempting.
Yeah, those are the usual suspects.
And the article says that these foods basically create a whole body state of inflammation, which can make existing joint problems way worse.
Makes sense.
And sometimes it can even trigger autoimmune responses where your body starts attacking its own tissues, including the joints.
Wow, that's scary.
Right. And to back this up, they cite a 2019 study that was published in Frontiers in Nutrition.
Oh, interesting.
And this study found that diets high in ultra-processed foods led to higher levels of inflammatory markers in the body.
I'm assuming those markers are a bad sign.
Yeah, one of the main ones is called C-reactive protein, or CRP.
Okay.
And it's basically like a general indicator of how much inflammation is going on in your body.
So if you have high CRP, that means you've got a lot of inflammation going on.
Exactly. And the study found that those high CRP levels were linked to more joint pain and stiffness.
So it's not just about our weight or heart health, but our joints too.
Exactly. What you eat has a direct impact on how your joints feel.
So what's the alternative?
Well, the article suggests switching to a more Mediterranean-style diet or just generally focusing on anti-inflammatory foods.
Okay, that sounds a lot better.
Yeah, and a lot tastier, too. They talk about things like fatty fish, which are high in omega-3s.
Oh, yeah. Those are good for you.
And then healthy fats from olive oil, nuts, and seeds.
Okay.
And then, of course, lots of colorful vegetables with antioxidants.
So basically a really nutrient-rich diet.
Exactly. And they also mention spices like turmeric and ginger, which are known for their anti-inflammatory properties.
So it's like nourishing your joints from the inside out.
Exactly.
Instead of fueling the fire, you're giving your body what it needs to actually heal and support those joints.
All right, so we're moving the right amount and eating the
Yeah.
right foods. What's next?
Well, the article then talks about something that I think a lot of people are guilty of,
What's that?
ignoring their posture and how they move their bodies.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Think about it. How much time do you spend hunched over your desk or looking down at your phone?
Way too much, probably.
Exactly. And then even things like lifting heavy objects incorrectly, using your back instead of your leg.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely done that.
And all these seemingly small habits, they can really add up over time.
How so?
Well, when you're constantly slouching or using bad form, you're basically throwing your body out of alignment.
Okay.
And that leads to uneven wear and tear on your joints. Some areas get stressed way more than others.
I see.
And the article points out that the neck, spine, knees, and hips are especially vulnerable to this kind of chronic strain.
Which makes sense because those are the joints we use the most.
Exactly. So what's the better choice here? It's all about becoming more mindful of how we hold ourselves and how we move.
Okay, so like being more aware of our posture.
Precisely. Like if you work at a desk, make sure you have an ergonomic setup.
Right.
And then when you lift anything heavy, remember to bend your knees, not your back.
That's a classic tip.
But it's true. And perhaps one of the most important things is to strengthen your core and back muscles.
Oh, yeah, those are key.
Because they provide that internal support for your spine and help keep everything aligned.
So it's like building a strong foundation to protect your joints.
Exactly.
Okay, so posture and movement are super important.
Got it.
Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked, hydration.
Yes. Water, the elixir of life.
And this is the fourth mistake the article mentions, chronic dehydration.
Now, we all know we should drink enough water,
Right.
but this article highlights a very specific reason why it's crucial for our joints.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, you see, cartilage, the tissue that cushions our joints, is made up of about 80% water.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is. And when we're dehydrated, that cartilage loses its plumpness and resilience.
What does that mean for our joints?
Well, it means that the cartilage is less effective at absorbing shock. So there's more friction and wear and tear within the joint.
So it's like our joints are running dry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And over time, this can really speed up the development of osteoarthritis, especially in those weight-bearing joints like the knees and hips.
So staying hydrated isn't just about quenching your thirst, it's actually protecting your joints.
Exactly. It's crucial for their long-term health.
Okay, so what's the better choice here?
Well, the article recommends sipping water throughout the day. It's about maintaining consistent hydration, not just chugging a big glass every now and then.
Yeah, makes sense.
And it also reminds us to be mindful of things like caffeine and alcohol, which can actually dehydrate us.
Oh, right. Those can sneak up on you.
They can, so watch out for those.
All right, on to mistake number 5, and this is something that affects a lot of people, excess weight.
Yes. A sensitive topic, but an important one.
Definitely. And the article doesn't mince words. It says that every extra pound of body weight adds about 4 pounds of pressure on your knees. And get this, 6 times the force on your hips when you walk.
Wow, those numbers are pretty alarming.
They are. And it really highlights the burden that excess weight puts on our joints, especially those weight-bearing ones.
And what does that mean for our joint health in the long run?
Well, over time, that constant overload can lead to cartilage breakdown, increased inflammation, and even misalignment of the joints.
So it's like a snowball effect.
Ooh.
The more weight you carry, the worse it gets for your joint.
Exactly. And to emphasize this point, the article brings in a statistic from the CDC.
Okay, what's that?
It says that people with obesity are twice as likely to develop osteoarthritis compared to people who maintain a healthy weight.
Wow, that's a significant difference.
It is. But the good news is that even losing a small amount of weight can make a big difference.
Really?
Yeah, the article says that losing just 10 pounds can reduce the load on your knees by 40 pounds with every step you take.
That's incredible. So it's not just about aesthetics or overall health, but specifically protecting those joints.
Exactly. Every pound lost is a victory for your joints.
All right, so we've covered movement, diet, posture, hydration, and weight. What's the final mistake?
The last one is ignoring those early warning signs of joint pain.
Oh, yeah, those little aches and pains we tend to brush off.
Exactly, like that clicking in your knee or the stiffness you feel in the morning.
It's so easy to just ignore them.
It is, but that's where the danger lies. The article says that chronic joint damage often starts subtly.
Meaning it doesn't always announce itself with a huge flare-up of pain.
Right. It might start with just a little twinge here and there that you might dismiss as just part of getting older.
Or maybe you blame it on a tough workout.
Exactly. But the problem is that if you ignore those early signals, the underlying issue can get worse and the damage can become irreversible.
So it's like ignoring a small leak in a dam.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, it can lead to a major breach.
Exactly. That little twinge you feel today could turn into major pain and limited mobility down the road.
So what should we do instead?
Well, the article stresses the importance of being proactive and really listening to our bodies.
So if you notice some discomfort, don't just ignore it.
Exactly. Address it early on, whether that means doing some gentle movement, trying physical therapy, or making some lifestyle changes.
It's about taking action before it becomes a bigger problem.
Exactly. It's about listening to those whispers before they turn into shouts.
I like that analogy.
So looking back at this whole guide on how to harm your joints, it seems like the key is to really be mindful of how we treat our bodies.
It's about making choices that support our joints rather than sabotage them.
And that comes down to moving our bodies the right amount, eating a healthy anti-inflammatory diet, being aware of our posture, staying hydrated, and managing our weight.
And of course, not ignoring those early signs of trouble.
Exactly. And the empowering message here is that we have a lot of control over these things.
We can make choices every day that will protect and preserve our joint health.
And the article ends with a really powerful thought. It challenges us to choose daily actions that support our joints rather than damage them.
Because our future selves will thank us.
For every pain-free step we take, it's a great reminder that these small choices we make every day can have a huge impact on our long-term well-being.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, thank you for sharing that article with us. It's definitely given me a lot to think about.
Me too. It's amazing how many things can impact our joint health.
And on that note, here's a final thought for you, our listeners, to ponder. Since we've learned that so many daily habits affect our joints, what's one small change you feel empowered to make right now that could have a positive ripple effect on your overall well-being?
That's a great question to consider.
Now, the author of that article, Armin Loges, has some other guides in this self-sabotage series coming up next.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, he's got how to harm your brain and how to harm your heart.
Those sound pretty interesting. Or maybe I should say scary.
Yeah, a little bit of both.